minutes ago. It's really kind of interesting. Dogs are so smart. I should let her She's adorable.
Clearly, we're not shooting people.
Say hi, Chopper. Hi, sweet.
They say good things come to those who wait. Well, guess I'm gonna be at least an hour late. You've been so good to me, allow me to demonstrate. Hey, real loving, you don't have to wait. Now come closer, yeah. You pick me up, keep me up when I'm feeling under. When I'm feeling undone. Oh secret, oh secret, oh secret. You're the one I've been keeping. You are the one, you are the one, yeah.
Good morning on this Sunday. My name is Bonang and this is my husband Bukamoso. Welcome to Doek Tie. How are you? How have you been? It's been just a week. Yes, so how are you?
It's early in the morning, so we just woke up. I'm a little drowsy, but I'm alright. Yeah.
It's a low, right?
Yeah. So where have we been? Maybe a little life update of what's been happening. I know we missed a week without uploading. What happened? What's going
on? Well, on my end, I have a lot of schoolwork and I have exams coming up. So yeah, that's on my end. What about on your end?
I've been chilling, living. Yeah, just a little. These breaks, what are they called? Sabbaticals, yeah. So we've just been taking a sabbatical. I've been having my weekends to myself and just doing mini projects around the home or around the house. But we're excited to be back. And for today's episode, we decided to switch roles. I'm supposed to be the quiet one. She's supposed to be the loud one. So Bonang is going to try as much as possible to be loud, and I'm just going to be laid back and quiet. I think this is episode 29 or episode 30.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, and it might be our last conversation, Grey Walk Conversations, for most of December. I think I'm going to be trying to vlog and be more outside rather than, indoors. So we'll see how that goes, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick one before I move on to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Someone commented that they would like a house tour.
House tour? Hey. Guy. There's no house tour. Shout out to you though. All you need to know is there's a grey wall. That's it. Grey Wall Conversations. That's it. That's all we're giving out. Yeah.
So I actually want to see our house.
This is it. Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, that's it.
Is this one room?
Yeah.
Alright. So on this week's episode of Doek Tie, we would first like to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel, everyone who's liked the page on Facebook. You are a star. Thank you very much. So on this week's Grey Wall Conversation, we will be having a very interesting discussion, which I'm sure at one point or another we all go through. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this week we will be discussing. Go on, boo.
Oh, okay. That's my cue.
Yes.
Meeting the parents of your significant other or meeting the family. That's we thought it would be interesting to discuss that because for December and a lot of people might be trying to make that move for Nyakana. I get there like being it up again. It's it's my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my fiance, So yeah, we just wanted to share our story of how that happened and maybe a little do's and don'ts of what to do and what not to do according to us when you're going to meet the family of your significant other. Yeah.
Okay.
I think your story is more interesting of how it happened. Mine was just alright. So we can lead with your story. How did you meet my family for the very first time? Who did you meet?
Who did I meet? I won't lie, I don't remember you.
For the first time?
The first time I met your family, guys, I'm thinking, and I honestly believe that the first time I met your family,
yeah, somebody's studying that cat. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Okay.
I was at school with Kamso and Auntie. We had just come from the library because we always...
This is where? Varsity, UB?
Varsity, you know.
Yeah, okay.
UB. So, normally we go, little backstory, normally we go to the library to like sort of study or go through what you learned during the day, notes or whatever.
Yeah.
So that it's like you don't have to do that when exams come and you're just... So we used to do that. So then one day, I don't know if we were coming from the library. I don't think we had gone to the library yet. We just had dinner from the refectory?
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yes. And we were just about to go to the library. So we're there just chilling, and then Bukamuso go, oh yeah, my family's gonna drop by.
Who were you at this point? Like, were we dating?
No, we were friends.
Okay.
You explicitly made it clear what
whoa,
you did not want to be my friend.
Carry on. Don't derail. Go on with your story.
So then on that day, when he tells us, no, my family's gonna pop by, Ontlamitze and I, we like, okay, cool, we're just gonna, just go to the library or And then Bugams was like, okay, so I'll tell you guys. He was supposed to inform us when they would be in school, and then we'd leave. 1212. Bugams was like, oh, they're here. What do you mean here? Like, we didn't have time to actually leave. We couldn't leave. So then I'm just sitting there, and Bukamso's whole family, literally his whole family, walks into the room. It was so weird. It was hella awkward. What is this? Like, because I think it was the first time that both Ontlamitze and I met his family. Well, the whole family. Ontlamitze probably had met your sister, but probably not the whole family. So it was an ambush. So then I'm there, I'm like, fam, at this point, we're friends. We're just friends. Friends meet each other's families, yes, but it's like casual. It's not like abrupt. You're thrown in the deep end. So then, in one day, I met his brother, his mom, his sister, his other brother. And now this is the part that's weird for me. So I was sitting at the desk. So while his brother is coming in, he sees me and he sees Franklin, and he goes, oh, Dumelang, wait. I'm just there like...
So clearly he knew before you knew.
Like,
vision, though. He had the vision.
Yeah, so most of them didn't say anything much. It was just the Dumelang, that's it, the end. It was his brother who was
very forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting...
And at the time we're just friends, like?
Yes.
Okay.
So imagine that, and then afterwards, everything's supposed to just be normal.
But I feel like you overreacted to the whole situation.
I didn't overreact to the whole situation. It was...
I thought it was just okay.
Yeah.
Were you overwhelmed?
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine meeting everyone all at once.
I guess.
And also, if I were to take you to like a family event.
You know me. Now I'm very...
Later.
Yeah.
If I were to take you to like a family event, that's purely family. Like nobody else. Just family and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm different. Like, I get that I'm what I can.
It's not an issue of switching it up when you meet people. It's an issue of, normally, I think when you meet your spouses, or when you meet the parents, it's sort of like there's levels to it. There's phases. You're probably going to meet your significant other siblings first.
Yeah.
And then you'll probably meet one of the parents first. One of the more...
Understanding.
Yeah, not really understanding, but more one of the... There's always the very strict one, and then there's always the the lenient one. So you'll probably meet the lenient one first, so that they sort of soften up the other one. So that's like the phases of meeting the parents.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing. There's all at once. Welcome, meet the family.
Yeah.
Wanang, this is my family. Wanang. That was it.
Nice. Just rip the band-aid off. Sometimes that's the best way to go about it, instead of holy face, like you say, just do it all at once.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for people who might be thinking of introducing their significant others to their family this December?
I think the key thing is to take your significant other's personality into consideration. Like, do you want to thrust them into a situation where they are uncomfortable, or would you like to have like more of a mellow introduction, like other people, cousins, sisters, and then you move on to the more serious adults? Because I fear in other situations where some people are a lot like that, a lot.
Okay.
Yes. Before then, let's hear your story first, and then I'll explain what I mean by a lot.
All right. On my end, meeting Banang's family, how did it happen? I think because we used to hang out a lot at varsity.
Phased approach.
Yeah, it was a phased approach. We hung out, so I think I met Botu first. Your sister, yeah. Hi. Okay, cool. Because we're pretty much the same age, your sister and I, so it was pretty easy. Same age, a lot to talk about. No awkwardness there. I don't know if she was awkward because I tend to be pretty loud. I think it's a defense mechanism. I can... And then now you are on the receiving end, I'm on the giving end, or what? Yeah, so Botu, and then mom used to pick you up at school. So get my ladies to the car, and then one day I was like, yeah, this is Bukamo. So get my mom like, oh, okay, Dumelan. I'm on. So that's how it happened. And then I think I met Angie at one point where they lived again.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I met your other sister and she gave me the stink eye. I'll never forget it. And she was like, Dumelan. About some more, and I was like, yeah, cold shoulder. Okay, cool. That's how that happened. And then that was it in terms of meeting the family. And then the one last person I had to meet was Dad, right? And then Dad I never met because he's quite strict. He tells me he's strict even today, but no, I've never seen it. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. So when I met him, this was after I proposed, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then at the point, he didn't even know that Bonang had a boyfriend. And I think, how did mom tell? How did that go? I tend to forget the story.
I think it was. I kept asking him questions here and there.
About what?
Dad, how would you feel if I got married? Those type of questions once in a while.
Yeah, but I think he just thought they were general questions. He never pieced it together.
Yeah.
And then he was told, was he told that you have a boyfriend? Did mom tell him this? That was like the very first time he had of possibility of you having a boyfriend.
I'm not
Yeah, so that happened, that conversation happened. I think it was for Bonang is interested in getting married. And then Pops didn't believe it. He was like, nah, Langa kid. Like he just went quiet for like a whole week. Nothing to nobody, quiet. And then I think mom kept going back to him, hey, like, so I think it's best you meet the man, maybe assess him a bit, know who he is. And then we met. I remember we met go Game City. He came, I was there. I came with you, and then he came with mom.
We were supposed to have lunch, BTW.
Yeah.
And he was so awkward about it.
Alright, I can tell. We meet go parking lot thing at Game City. That conversation lasted about a minute. Okay. Yeah.
You forget the most important question. Lele Makai.
Oh, Lele Makai, Nyarle Makugulu Shari, Kotono. Okay. And then I think he turned to my body, yeah, get more. We don't need to have this lunch. It lasted about 2 to 3 minutes, that conversation. Parking lot, done.
Oh, wow.
That was the first time I met Dad, yeah.
It was supposed to be a lunch date.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work. Mom was looking forward to it. They dressed up for it, and I was a little dressed up, you as well. But it never happened like that.
He was
2-3 minutes.
He was out.
Done. I think he was still in shock. He wasn't expecting that. He probably thought you guys were kidding with the whole getting married thing. So it was, that was a load off. And then, of course, when we met, now it was more official. When we're doing the whole pato and other traditional preparations for the wedding. So that's how it happened for me, and then gradually we just started knowing each other, and good now. Yeah. So tips from me when you're going to meet or you're planning on introducing or meeting the parents of your significant other, be yourself, because that will depend on two things. If you are there intentionally to stay and you're not there for a good time, like you have long-term plans of being in that person's life, I think it's best to be yourself, because if you're gonna fake maybe personality or things that you like or you don't like, you're not honest about them up front, it's gonna be difficult to keep up that facade for however long. Every time you need to meet them or you go to a family event, you kind of need to
be that guy.
Yeah, be the person that you're really not. So just be yourself, be respectful, be tolerant, because people are different. Because also for things are done in a certain way, then you get there, you find out things are done totally different, in opposite way. But yeah, I think that's where tolerance comes in. Okay, it's different. You learn, and you teach them your ways. They teach you your ways. Find a middle ground. Find a balance. I know the extreme cases where you just meet each other and you're like, nah, I don't like your family, fam. They just don't like me. That's tough. I don't know how people go about that. So if you've been in that situation where you were with a person and then family can also do the family, just let us know in the comment section how that happened and how that situation ended up being. You were saying something earlier. No, what was it?
I forgot.
Yeah, so that was our story. Meeting each other's families.
Oh yeah, we were tackling do's and don'ts, tips. I think you said tips.
Yeah, I already gave up mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when meeting I agree with what he said. Be yourself. But I think there's a great expectation on females to be more than
What do you mean more?
Than they normally are. Like, I feel like with females, they expect when they meet you, rather, there's an expectation you should be this certain woman who, I feel like there's greater expectations for women than there are for guys. That's all.
There are great expectations on us as well. Maybe we just don't share them as much, but
families tend to expect more of weight.
Not really. Okay, how do we see? That's like another level when you're already like getting married and stuff.
Yes, but normally when you meet the parents or when you meet someone's family, they sort of treat your relationship like it's heading in that direction, even if it ends at some point. But normally when you meet your spouse's parents, they sort of treat you as someone who's eventually going to be assimilated into the family. So that's why I get it. Expectations tend to be great of you.
I think it's great on both ends, because as much as I don't say it, maybe I'm not vocal about it, but you kind of feel you're expected to do certain things, behave in a certain way. So it's just a matter of, and the funny thing is nobody tells you this. Like it's just something that's intrinsic. You feel like maybe I should, go an extra mile, do this way, and try to just be more, which is not always a good idea, Yeah. I forgot. Oh, I was saying, speaking of relationships heading a certain direction, do you feel that people now or these days introduce their boyfriends and girlfriends to their families more than they used to? Because I think us growing up, I grew up in a rural setting, but I was close to my mom to talk about girls and all that stuff. But I don't think it was a common occurrence to just come to my mom and get, hey, this is my girlfriend. Especially when I was younger, like junior school, senior school, But these days, I think things are different.
I think parents are learning that talking to bana, or talking to their kids rather, and having open relationships with them allows for the kids to be able to come to them when they have a problem or something happens. Because you'd find that a lot of times when dating, you'd have questions, you'd have things that you want to know, but you can't ask your parents. You couldn't ask your parents back in the day.
Yeah.
So I think with our parents' experiences comes them realizing what they need to be more understanding, they need to be more open, so that you come to them when you sort of have either questions about relationships, questions on how to approach certain things.
Yeah.
So I think it's evolving. That's why we kind of look at it. It's simpler. Well, not necessarily simpler, but it's more of a common occurrence these days that you would meet your child's boyfriend or their girlfriend just to get to know them, just to understand them.
Yeah.
When the kid says, I'm going on a date,
I think it's better
Yeah.
There's always that trend or that conversation back in the day where a lot of our parents would go to Howard primary school, stay away from boys, stay away from girls, they'll get you pregnant. That was the conversation. And then junior school, stay away from girls, stay away from boys, they'll get you pregnant, focus on your studies. Senior school, same thing, varsity, same thing. And then, wait. And then immediately after graduating,
yeah.
Like they didn't give you space to. There was never a conversation on you can go about and try to find like a life partner or yeah. So I think that conversation is changing, and it's up to us as like the newer generation that's gonna be raising kids. Can you believe we're gonna raise kids someday? Oh, shout out to my friends who are raising kids, man. You guys are amazing. Like I'm just amazed at how you guys do it. Anyway, I was saying, us as a generation, at some point we're gonna have to step in and become parents, and these are the conversations that we're gonna have to have with kids. So I can imagine my daughter and Papa have a boyfriend. Yo. Ooh.
You know what the funny thing is with younger kids these days? It happens like from preschool. They come home, they're like, Daddy, I have a boyfriend.
I'd like to meet the parents of that boyfriend and meet them.
So yeah.
As much as I try to be progressive and like a new age parent, thoughts. What was I gonna say? New age parent school of thought, right? Like I'm trying to prep myself and just get in the groove of that. I am still a traditionalist at heart, so I think if I have kids and they tell me such things, I'm just gonna be not livid, but surprised and anxious more than anything.
I appreciate the fact that we are now able to have such conversations with our parents, it's actually a welcome development, because really, like, you find that a lot of things happen where you find cases where a boyfriend and a girlfriend break up and the breakup wasn't amicable and one of them hurts the other one. So I believe that it's important for your parents to know such, because what happens if this person then decides, you know what, the relationship is over for you, it's not over for me, and you know, it would be a shock to your parents, Kore, you were even dating to begin with. So I think that's one of the reasons why I feel it's important to sort of be open with our parents and them be open with us, them letting us experience relationships, letting us sort of like learn how to deal with our emotions. Yes.
Yeah. I think the last thing that I want to mention is there's been a lot of talk on social media always blows things out of proportion, you know, it's very extreme. But I think lately a lot of people seem to be struggling with like dating and finding the right partner and finding the one. Maybe, just maybe, it's because you never asked your parents what to look for in a partner. Sometimes we overlook all that wisdom and knowledge that they have, because our parents have been through mjolo, they've been through dating, they've been through marriages, they've been through divorces. So maybe the reason why we're not progressing in that department is we never really went back and sat down with the very same people who have went through the struggles that you're possibly going through today. But as I don't know how to say it, they're just old. But we forget that at one point, they're our age. Maybe this December, have that conversation with your father, have that conversation with your mom. But hey, can't they this dating thing, this finding a life partner thing? How did you meet?
How did you guys meet?
Yeah.
How did you guys know that you wanted to marry each other?
Yeah.
Those sort of conversations.
Food for thought. So that was our story of how we met each other's parents. I think we kind of derailed and, you know, went into another. But it's fine. It's fine. We missed great old conversations. We haven't been here in a while, but we appreciate you checking out this video. Like the page, subscribe on YouTube, and we're looking forward to our December vlogs. That's if we have a December and there's no lockdown, because if it's a lockdown, we might just be stuck inside the house and inside the yard. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Can close it, babe. I was supposed to be quite quiet.
I told you, it's not in you. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Doek Tie. Have a wonderful Sunday and a very wonderful week ahead. Yes.
Good luck with exams.
December.
Oh, good luck with exams.
Yeah.
And all those 10 papers for everybody who's writing.
All the best with your exams. I wish you the absolute best. You will do great. I have faith in that. So see you again soon. Thank you for watching.
They say good things come to